Hi Aries, we're going to be talking about love today. Real quick, before I get started new for 2020 on this channel, I am doing interviews on Tuesday evenings with other influencers. I don't have all the answers to everything, but a lot of other people have other answers too that, whatever. But anyway, so we're going to be talking to other influencers, and on Tuesday evenings, this past Tuesday, we spoke with Kyle Butler, who was a former apostolic minister, and the week before that, we spoke with Maxine Taylor, who is an astrologer of over 50 years. Tuesday coming, we're going to be talking to a gentleman named Kelly who has a YouTube channel called Good News, and he picks the Bible apart with the original meaning of the words, the context, and the culture, and he finds the deeper spiritual meanings and pulls out some really interesting information. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, it would be a good time. Tuesday night, 6 Central. Here on this channel. And don't forget, Saturday morning is Roundtable. That's our little group, and we just kind of talk to each other, hear each other's journeys, and if you're interested in sharing your journey or importing anything to the group, please email me so that I can put your name in the drawing, because I do that by drawing. I draw names for participants. That's Saturday morning at 10 o'clock Central. Okay, let's talk about love. Okay, God, guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit. We're talking to Aries right now about love. Show us clearly, what is the overarching message about love for Aries? We thank you for clear and concise messages. We thank you for love, light, and prosperity. And we thank you for clarification, confirmation, and validation. Show us clearly, what is the overarching message for Aries as it relates to love? Oh, wow. It's called coming apart. Okay. So this group of Aries that I'm speaking to, it looks like there might be some things where we are coming apart. The way that I'm doing these readings right now is I'm pulling an energy card for those who are single, those who are dating, and those who are in committed coupled relationships. So coming apart, even if you're single, it could still have a message for you about your singleness. So, and that's another thing too, whether you're single or in a committed relationship, I encourage you to listen to all of the reading, because you may pick up bits and pieces from the other areas that are significant to you at this time in your life, in your relationship or outside of your relationship. Okay, coming apart. Now's the time to take separate paths. The coming apart card is assigned to put an end to what's no longer working for you. Has a commitment been broken? Perhaps you need to break a promise or change course because you took on more than you could handle. This is a perfect time to reassess your goals and values. Are your actions in alignment with what you believe in? Have you created a partnership that's not mutually beneficial? Separation, disillusion, and dispersion are all in focus now. If someone wishes to break away from you, don't chase the relationship out of a sense of fear. The price you'll pay will not be worth the prize. Separation brings good fortune. Okay, now none of us want to really talk about breaking up, especially if we're in a committed relationship, or maybe some of us do, obviously, because there's the message, and perhaps you were just needing confirmation. But again, I feel like it's even important for us, for those of us who are single, to hear a message like that and remember, because we might get started in a relationship, and in the beginning stages we feel like, well, things might be a little bit different if I just hang on for a little while. And sometimes the best thing to do is just go ahead and end it before it gets too involved. So let's see what's going on here. God, guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit, we thank you for that overarching message as it relates to love. Please show us clearly, what are the energies that will be navigated as it relates to love by single Aries, by those who are dating, and by those who are in coupled relationships. We thank you for clear and concise messages. We thank you for love, light, and prosperity. And we thank you for clarification, confirmation, and validation. Okay, so if you're single, memories of love. If you are dating, we have emotional withdrawal. And if you are in a committed relationship, we have firm foundation, which is the same as the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so we're going to get some clarifiers, and then we're going to go back and talk about each group. Again, might behoove you to stay tuned to all three, because you may pick messages out of each one that is in fact beneficial to you. Okay, God, guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit, I thank you so much for our Aries friends. Thank you for showing us the energies that they'll be navigating as we move through our life as it relates to love. Show us clearly, clarify memories of love for single people. Clarify emotional withdrawal for those who are dating, and firm foundations for those who are in a committed relationship. Okay, so I just heard. Make sure when we're talking about the committed relationship that this coming apart may have to do with something outside your relationship that you need to come apart from to benefit your relationship. So it's not necessarily about breaking up the relationship. It could be also about breaking up with extra hours at work, breaking up with golf with the buddies every single afternoon. It could be that kind of stuff. So coming apart, dissolving relationships that are hindering the relationship. That was the message I just got. So as we move forward, clarifying memories of love, we have the Nine of Pentacles and we have the Eight of Wands. Clarifying emotional loss for those who are dating, we have the Five of Cups and we have the Ten of Cups. And the card emotional loss itself is actually the co-card of the Eight of Cups. So you got a lot of cups going on right there, Aries. You're all up in your feelings right now. And for those who are in coupled relationships, firm foundation, we have the Two of Pentacles. Yeah. Thank you, Spirit. And we have strength. Okay. So, of course, whenever we're human, right? So that whenever we look, the first thing we see is this. But being a reader and being an intuitive reader, I'm constantly listening for what Spirit's saying. That's why they had me stop and say this could be about breaking up with something outside of the relationship to strengthen the relationship. So the cards that I'm using, and I forgot to do it on all the other readings, but I know it's important to everybody, is the energy cards are coming from the Psychic Tarot by John Holland, and the clarifiers are coming from the Arcanum Tarot. Okay. And then this is Enchanted Map, the overall card, and I do the PS with the Everyday Tarot. Okay. Singles, memories of love. This is where you are right now. You're thinking about, maybe you're assessing the past. It's the same as the Six of Cups, right? So perhaps you're assessing past relationships, or perhaps there's somebody from your past that you're really in the feels for, and you're really it's like it's not hard, but it's like you're not even wanting to move out of that space. You're just allowing yourself to ruminate there right now. And I feel like they're saying that that you are a very independent person and you don't need a person in your life. So I feel like if this right here is being the energy that you're sitting in a sad way, like really wanting them back, just remember that you don't need to have them or anybody else in your life to have the fulfillment that you're looking for. It's nice to have that. And there's some people that we do mourn the loss of them, whenever they leave or the relationship's over or whatever. So it is one thing to stay there, but they're wanting to remind you that that you don't need that. Yes, it was good. Yes, it was fulfilling for a time, but it's not something that you need. You don't have to, you're not crippled moving forward. I'm also feeling like for some of you, this is somebody coming back, and they're coming back to find you in a different place than you were than the last time y'all were together. Like they're not even going to recognize you this time. This card is a woman sitting there with 9 pentacles, standing there with 9 pentacles. She is definitely independent. It's not gender specific. This can be a man or a woman. And this is not just financial independence. This is spiritually, mentally, and emotionally independent, right? So they're reminding you of who you are. So if you're mourning the loss of a relationship, they're wanting to remind you who you are. And if somebody's about to come back into your life, they're saying, they're going to see somebody totally different than they saw before. And their advice in this case or whatever is to stay in touch. Okay. For some of you, this is a sense of mourning because you literally lost somebody who transitioned. And this card right here, whenever I picked it up, they're saying, they said, this for me, wands are always about inspiration, purpose, passion, creativity, and communication with spirit. And what they said was that if you are mourning the loss of somebody that has transitioned, they're saying they're not really going. Communicate with them, talk to them. They're here and they're ready to talk to you too. That's what that message is. Also, for those of you who are not mourning the loss of somebody who has transitioned, they're saying that, stay in touch with spirit. This is about that kind of communication. This is about moving forward in an inspired way, moving forward in your own passion. Remember, you're very independent, so moving forward in your own passion, right? And if somebody from the past is coming back to you, ask spirit for signals about that before it happens so that you can know. Let spirit speak to your intuition, because this is what they're saying. We're communicating with you. So ask them to open you up and allow you to receive whatever guidance they're giving you in this situation. Okay. If you're dating, you're coming out with the 8 of Cups, which is the emotional withdrawal. This is where in the traditional tarot, that person is leaving 8 cups and walking away, right? It's like, yes, life's been good. Yes, things have been fun and all that other stuff, but there's something better for me and I want to go find it. And so I feel like emotionally, you are not even allowing yourself to enjoy this dating thing, because I feel like you're just not even connected emotionally. One reason is because you're thinking about the relationships that didn't work out. So behind you, there's 2 cups lit up that you're not even in a place. They're saying you're not even in a place right now where if Mr. Right or Mrs. Right came along for you, you would notice, because you're withdrawn. You did leave something behind you, but moving forward, you're still carrying some of that with you. You haven't let it go, so that and worked on yourself to become who you want to be, to draw in the kind of person that you want. But this is what they're saying. Your 10 of Cups is out there, okay? So leaving behind those things was the right thing to do. There's the 8. And there's the other 2 cups that you're going for. And whenever you put those 2 together, you have the 10 of Cups. But they're saying you have to release these other things, these other bags of emotion, these emotional blocks that are keeping you somewhat separated from what you're doing. You took the right steps by leaving what wasn't working. You're out there again, but you're still hanging on to some of that stuff. So what they're saying is, let it go, because your 10 of Cups is there, but you're focused on these three, so you're not finding your soulmate. You're not seeing your soulmate because they're coming in vibrating on a different plane, and you're still vibrating. Your head's down. With your head down like that, you can't see them because they're vibrating on a different plane. So what they're saying is, let's get rid of these last little bits of baggage that you're carrying with you, so that you can fully enjoy what you're doing while you're out there dating, and then allow yourself to feel the feels of these new companions, these new relationships, these new friendships that you're forming, and watch, because this is coming in. Okay. So you're coming apart. They're asking you to come apart from this emotional baggage. You came apart from what wasn't serving you, but you carried a little bit of it with you. So they're asking you to break up with these things that are no longer serving you. Come apart from that. And with you, the coming apart might be come apart from the memory of whatever you're hanging on to. Again, not if somebody has transitioned. If somebody has transitioned and you're mourning that or grieving that, that's a whole different story. You've got some healing to do. And they're saying talk to them. Talk to that person because they're still there. But if you're hanging on to memories from somebody that has left, they're saying don't try to pull them back in, right? Yes, they left, but you have everything you need to move forward in life. So coming apart, on the other side of this, you're going to look back and say, you know what? It was the best thing that happened. So right here, we have the firm foundations. And again, Spirit interrupted me in this spread while I was shuffling and said, with this card, they're more talking about you breaking up with something that's keeping you from this. This is the firm foundation. It's the same as the Four of Pentacles in the traditional tarot, but this depiction, I love this depiction because it's all about what we think is appropriate in relationships, or how we think it's okay for us to show up in relationships and all this kind of stuff. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a scenario because I really see something like, and I'm going to tell you how it relates to this. I really see something like, let's just say, for instance, a guy in a traditional marriage, right? And he goes to work and he comes home and he sits down and he puts his stuff down and he says hi and he kisses her on the cheek and he goes and he grabs his golf bag and he goes off and plays golf and he comes back a little bit later in the day and he puts his golf bag stuff down. He goes and he takes a shower and then he sits in front of the TV and he never asks how are things going. Like he's not even engaged in what's going on in the relationship. But that's how he was raised. So in his mind, and that's just like a real simple example of something, something similar to that could be going on. But that's how he was raised, and he thinks that, that's how marriages are, and that's okay. And she knows I loved her because I told her whenever we got married. And Spirit's saying it might be time to break up with that idea because you've got something really solid here. And there may be something for you to think about a little bit deeper than that. It may be time for you to rearrange some ways that you're thinking about things. And as far as if, let's put the shoe on the other foot. You're the woman in a traditional relationship. And again, it's not just about a traditional relationship. It can be any relationship. But you take off with your girlfriends and y'all go shopping and every day while he's at work, you do your thing with the kids and then you go hang out with the girls and I don't know, in the evenings you're so busy with the kids and dinner and all that stuff, you're not paying attention to him. we get caught up in situations like that. Whether it's culture or not culture, we do get caught up in situations like that. And I feel like Spirit's saying, again, it's time to break up with those things from the outside and get more committed with what's going on inside. Look, there's something called balance, right? It's important to be who you are. Absolutely. I talk about that all the time on this channel. But when we are who we are to the point of escaping real life and other people in our relationships, then we're not really being true to who we are either. So there's something right here called balance. And they're saying you have the ability to do this, Aries. You have the ability to find this balance in your life. You also have the strength to do it, and it will bring more strength and resilience into the relationship you're currently in. So this coming apart card, when I first looked at it, I thought, ooh, somebody's breaking up. And it could be that too. But I feel the stronger message, or the more guided message is, come apart from those things that are keeping you apart and find that strength again within your marriage, within this committed relationship. Find that strength within the two of you again. Okay, so let's get a PS. God, guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit, I thank you so much for love and love relationships. And I thank you for our Aries friends. Thank you for your guided messages. Please show us clearly, what is the PS? What is the PS for Aries as it relates to love? We thank you for clear and concise messages. We thank you for love, light, and prosperity. And we thank you for clarification, confirmation, and validation. And I thank you guys, subscribers, likes, shares, comments, ringing the bell, all that stuff, the requests for private readings, the donations. You guys rock. I am humbled to be a part of this community. Even the passersby who stop in a minute and engage with us in this community. You rock. I love you guys, all of y'all. P.S. Look, this is the Eight of Pentacles. This is about, be a student of your life. Be a student of what it is that's happening. If something's not working right in your life, if you're feeling negative emotions about something, be a student about it. Figure it out. Ask yourself. Get quiet. Get still. Then let go of those things that you can't control and allow Spirit to speak to you and guide you in that next step. And what's the next right thing to do? There's that Eight of Wands again. It's the same as this card, right? And it's like they are constantly communicating with you. You are not walking this walk alone. None of us are. We are not here alone. I really believe that whenever we leave there to come here, the Creator high fives us, and we have a little team that jumps down with us, and we have these spirit beings that are guiding us. Some people call them archangels, some people are angels, guardian angels, and some people call them spirit guides. And I don't think it matters what we call them, because they don't care, because they're spirits. So, but they are always communicating with us, and it's always in peace. They're here to guide us. They're here to help us walk the life that we came here wanting to walk before we came here, even within relationships. And look, it says you have a decision to make in every single case. It's true, there's a decision to make. In here, they're asking you to accept that the person that you lost is not gone. They didn't truly transition. You can make a decision to communicate with them. And for those who are just mourning a breakup or something like that, they're asking you to let it go and stay in touch with them and let them give you the next steps to go on. But it's your decision. You can stay right where you are, and that's okay. For those that are dating, you left those 8 cups behind, but you're still dragging 3 of them with you. And because you're dragging those 3 with you, you've got your head down. You can't see your soulmate, right? You've got a decision to make. Let's release those last 3 so that you can see your soulmate, because guess what? They're there. I love that. And for those of you who are in committed relationships, you have a decision to make. That I feel like Spirit's saying, are you going to continue doing what you're doing, or are you going to break up with what's not serving you in this relationship? Because I feel like it's a very solid relationship between the two of you. And if it's not, then be willing to come apart from it too. But yes, it's time. It's decision time. All right, Aries, that is your reading. Thank you so much for stopping in. I love you guys, and I can't wait to see you again. Until then, have a super duper day. Bye.